Very effective in the sense that we didn't get that. I don't think I ever heard anybody say anything appreciative until I came here. Actually, we had that Veterans Assembly last year, and the year 2 years before that, we had it again. And in both cases, people started saying thank you. I think the things started thank yous after the war in Afghanistan and Iraq started, when people started to see that, this isn't our fault. We didn't create this. So I think it created a different perspective. And I think these guys and girls who are coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan, they're coming back to parades. They're coming back to flag waving. They're coming to a sense of patriotism, which I totally appreciate. They are being thanked by people, which I totally appreciate. They're wearing their uniform, especially their camouflage. When we were in public, we were not allowed to wear our uniforms because it created such a bad situation. People became so negative. I mean, had I been able to stay out of the military, I would have stayed out of the military. But because of the draft, which is no longer going, I had to make a choice. I could get drafted into the Army and walk through Vietnam, or I could get into the Air Force and try to fly over it. I chose the Air Force to try to fly over it. Well, we were taking patients off a plane in the Philippines, and one of the gurneys got loose, and fell over onto a bunch of us. And as soon as I hit with this, trying to stop this patient from hitting the floor, I hit my shoulder, and I heard it break. I heard the crack as it broke, so I broke my shoulder blade, and that created me to not be able to handle patients anymore. So I got retrained into what's called medical OJT, which is on-the-job training. So I taught supervisors how to train young medics how to be medics. And so they sent me to Turkey. I spent 13 months in Turkey. That's a country in the Mideast. For those of you who don't know, there's a country named Turkey. And that's what I did. I worked with NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. So I worked with Belgian troops and French troops and Italian troops and Greek troops and English troops. And then I also went to these countries to do more training. So I did a lot of traveling through Europe. And that's one of the reasons why I became a teacher, was I learned so much about education, the need for education and the need for people to not be ignorant, because I saw so much poverty and so much ignorance throughout Europe, especially the Mideast. And I thought to myself, I didn't care for that at all. So after I got out of the military, I used my GI Bill to go to school. I got my college degree from Cal State LA. I got my credential from Cal State LA. And then I started teaching and eventually got my master's from the University of San Francisco in educational administration. So if there was anything that was a good thing about the military, it taught me what I wanted to be when I grew up, which I didn't have any idea when I was 18, coming out of high school.